Who's said the MF hot girl, that hot chili cheese Frito pussy? Who said that?
Kelli said that about Porsha.
I was like, wait, whoa.
And then she said on Watch What Happens Live that her vagina is on fire. That's why she said it. Because Andy's like, can you explain this? She's like, it's hot. It's hot. It's on fire. I don't know what that means. I really don't want to know what it means.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelli, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers!
Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Kelli.
I'm Wendy.
Tonight we're talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 17, episode... Oh, I don't have an episode number. Is it 7?
6.
Saddle up and settle scores. Before we start, just want to thank everyone for their support and ask you to please go to YouTube, subscribe, go to Insta, TikTok, Facebook, and follow, and tell your friends, share, and we appreciate it. Thank you. You know what's funny? I watched this on my DVR because I watched it last night, right after it aired. And real quick, at the end of the DVR, it says play next, and it gives you the next episode. It had the next episode, but it didn't play. But that popped up.
Oh, that's weird.
I know, but it didn't. I was like, oh, did I just watch the wrong one? I'm like, no, but that was a new episode. But it didn't play, so something was off. Yeah. So we start out with Shamia telling her sister, I guess on the phone, but they were FaceTiming about the night before. So it's the night after the big drama-filled dinner. Pinky called her husband and tells him about her and Angela. And he said, I miss you. And it was because of the kids. Now, I didn't really clock this last week, but I guess Angela said something about them having a third wife in the basement or something. And they were laughing. Yeah, Pinky and her husband were laughing about that. She's like, there's no wife in the basement. But I didn't really...
I'm confused. It would be a second wife. Why would it be a third wife?
That's exactly what I was thinking. But she did say third wife.
She did, because it gets brought up again on this episode. In her confessional, she doubles down on it. I was like, wait a second.
So we get to the breakfast table, and it starts out with Pinky, Shamia, and Drew. And Drew says she didn't get any sleep last night because of what went on, and that Pinky's energy was a lot. But, Pinky's just kind of standing in her truth. Like, I was just defending my friends. Like, I was defending my girl. Pinky does call Angela Bigfoot during this conversation.
That is a theme with Angela. What is with her? I mean, why do they keep shading her feet? Because Kelli was shading her too.
Yeah, I want to know how big her feet are, because I'll be honest with you, I was a 7.5 my whole life until I got pregnant with Tess, and then I went to an 8, and then I got pregnant with Joe, and I went to an 8.5. And I'll be quite honest with you, now I just buy 9s because they are more comfortable. So I want to know how big Angela's feet are, because I'm a 9.
There you go.
I'm a comfortable 9, but I have the same pair of sneakers as my sister. And we were in my mother's basement. I was doing her hair, and we put our sneakers next to each other. Mine do look giant. She's like, whose sneakers are these? I'm like, mine. Why? And I looked at them side by side. I was like, oh my God. So you could potentially call me Bigfoot too. And then Phaedra shows up to the breakfast, and she says that Pinky needs some fresher plants to eat so she can have some better energy. That was a good one on Phaedra.
Mm-hmm.
Shamia and Kelli slept in Pinky's bed. I don't understand what's going on with Shamia and Drew.
Yeah, they're still not in a good place. So I guess that stems from, they tried to squash it at Pinky's event, right? Shamia's mother was there, and she made a comment. So it's interesting because it seems to me like Shamia's mother and Drew's mother, because we've met both of them, are both very religious, right? I mean,
I thought they were both pastors, as is Phaedra's mother.
Right. I know. It's crazy to me, right? So why
Sounds
are
like
these
another
women
community.
I know, right? Why exactly? What is going on, like, with these moms? Because why are they getting in the drama, right?
Well, yeah, yeah. That's the problem. Drew brings up Shamia's mom, and that's
Yes.
never gonna go well.
Right. Right.
Pinky asks Drew about her movie, and Shamia says she hasn't seen it yet. And Drew says Shamia can talk to her whenever she wants. And Shamia says, I have apologized, and you've decided not to accept it. So, I mean, I don't know. And then Drew says she didn't receive the apology because she apologized and then she said, but. And then Shamia apologized for the but. And Shamia's like, at this point, Drew just wants to have a problem. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't think we've seen one scene on this show without someone arguing with someone else. I can't keep up with all the beefs. Like, I forgot about the whole Shamia and Drew thing until just now. And I'm like, another one? Like, does
And
anybody
what
get
did
along on this show?
I don't even remember exactly what it even started with, to be quite
Me
honest with you.
neither.
And you know what I was thinking about? Last season, when it started, we were so excited to see Shamia, and we were like here for Shamia until the Shamia and Porsha drama started. Ever since then, I feel like Shamia has been the problem because this cast is not vibing together. Like, Shamia is so divided from Porsha, and she's now bonded with Kelli, I think more so over her divide with Porsha than she ever was before. I don't think her and Kelli were that close before, not like they are
I
now
don't
because
think they were either. And I think that a lot of this has to do with look at the difference where Drew and Porsha are this year to where they were last year. Drew and Porsha were not in a good place last year, right?
right,
Now they're
right.
BFFs. So of course Drew's going to have beef with Shemaine. It's the same thing as, Jackie on Jersey having beef with Margaret because she wants to be close with Teresa. Like, it's the same stuff. Like, Drew probably thinks if I stay in good graces with Porsha, I'm safe on the show. I really
Yeah,
think that this is how people are playing this game now.
I don't like it. I really don't like it. I wish that they would just be
Like it
genuine.
either, and quite honestly, Drew brings nothing to the table. She brings nothing to the table. She's not a great housewife.
I do like her though, and I don't know why. And I'm not even going to argue with you because I don't know what she does bring to the table, but I do like her. I don't know why.
Yeah, is Black a fake boyfriend? Like, what are we doing here? Is he your boyfriend? Is he not your boyfriend? Is Ralph in the basement? Where are your children?
What is going
Give
on? I
us
think that
something, Drew. Bring us to a
yeah.
shoot. Bring us to a movie, a production of something. Do something other than sit in a confessional and kiss Portia's ass, because that's what you're doing now. And then Cynthia shows up to breakfast, and this is clearly the new Bravo formula. They're splitting the groups up. Porsha, Kay, Phaedra, and Angela are going to see some horses. Pinky, Shamia, Kelli, Drew, and Cynthia are going cattle herding. And Kay Michelle is going full glam. She's getting a full beat. She has a photographer there. She is the Dorit of Atlanta. Let's just give her the
Yes.
title now.
And a little bit of the Lisa Barlow.
For sure, with the glam. For sure.
Exactly.
Porsha tells Kay about last night, and, she's been around women like Pinky before. She says she does too much. I'm not getting that vibe from Pinky that she's trying to do too much. I think she was legit just trying to stand up for her friends. She thought she was doing her job, bringing it to the
I,
table. Like, yeah, they're
I
mad.
think that I think she was trying to stand up for her friends, but being the new girl to the group, I think it's a little early on to be doing that. I mean, I think it is. I think it's a little early on to be doing that.
I feel like Angela did that her first season, though, and I feel like it was received a little bit more, but you know what? Maybe it wasn't, because Porsha did say she was going to sleep with her husband. So maybe it
Yeah.
was. And Porsha says Pinky's just hungry, and that's why she's acting like.
All right. She needs some meat.
But, Kay says Pinky's a good person, and she's just going hard for her friends. And, I do like that Pinky and Kay are kind of having each other's back, like both being the new girls. I do
I
kind of
do
like
too.
that.
And I think they still are today based on what's been said on Watch What Happens Live. Like, they're still close.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that K. Michelle said that her passion comes off as aggressive. It's just passion. And honestly, I like that she said that because, a, a couple people were calling her aggressive. And we even said that. We even said it. We're like, we don't want to say it. We don't want to say she's aggressive, right? We don't like to use that word. But I believe that sometimes passion does come across as aggressive because sometimes I know when I'm talking about something, if I'm really passionate about it, it sounds
You
like
get
I'm yelling.
louder. You get more
Right.
expressive.
Right. Exactly. So that can come across as aggressive. And I'm okay.
And the thing is that Angela can remain very she's like Phaedra. She's going to sit there,
yes,
focused,
stone-faced,
calm, but she's going to say things to you that are going to rile you up.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to have that reaction because it's not her, but she's going to say things to get you to have that reaction. I mean, admittedly, I would be probably flipping tables if I were in any of these conversations. I could never handle it. You would definitely be calling me aggressive, and it would probably be spot on. But Angela has that calmness about her. She could sit back and but she knows what she's doing. And I like Angela, but she knows what she's doing.
Well, I do too, and I agree with you. She definitely knows what she's doing, and I feel like I don't know how Angela didn't get the memo that they were going to be riding horses and going to. I mean, she shows up in a cocktail dress with strappy
She looked like
shoes.
she was on Dancing with the Stars, and I say that in a nice way. But that's not go horseback riding or whatever you're doing. It's not cattle herding or horseback riding attire.
No, did she not get the itinerary for the day? I mean, seriously, did she? I mean, it's got to be on her call.
That some people were focused on dress like Dynasty, and they must have just figured it was for the whole damn trip.
No, I do not know. I mean, listen, that dress was beautiful, and she looked stunning. But the strappy shoes and the cocktail attire, I was like,
yeah, not fitting for the day's activities.
And I'll be honest,
Phaedra tells us she's been riding horses since 8 or 9 years old, and it was her competitive sport in college.
I was impressed with that, to be honest with you.
Me too. And then she used a word. It's down in my notes somewhere. What it was that she would do. And basically it was competition, but you were like showing the horse. Like they would say like what you have to do with the horse and then you would do it. But K. Michelle said she's been around horses her whole life and she never heard of what Phaedra was talking about. However,
dressage.
Once we get
dressage.
There, yeah, there you go.
Dressage.
So
yeah,
when we get there, the horse instructor, or whatever she was, knew exactly what she was talking about.
I actually knew that word because I don't know if you know this. Bill used to have a horse.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, not when I knew him, prior to me knowing him, and he used to ride dressage. I was like, okay, yeah,
That's
so
very
I knew that word.
interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too. Right?
Yeah, I never heard it.
Yeah.
So now we see the other group, and Shamia and Kelli start telling the girls how gross the pool house was, and Cynthia is growing very tired of it. And she, basically, she says that Pinky came to dinner telling them that they were dragging her for the room situation. And she wants them to stop talking about it. And so do I.
Me too. And I'll tell you what, I listened to Humble Brag today.
Yeah.
And Cynthia spoke about, not this episode, she spoke about the episode prior. And she said that this one was coming up that we saw already, but she said the reason she was so upset and she set them straight in this episode is because the owner of the house was nothing but hospitable, was so excited to have them there, and she was concerned that these girls were dragging her and going to drag her business. And I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either. However, I don't know. Listen, I love a pool house and I said I'd like to be next to the pool. And if it's dirty, it's dirty. Get someone to clean in there. Don't make it a storyline on the show, obviously, because that is disrespectful to Cynthia. But the fact that they were cooking all the meals in there, like, what if they wanted to sleep in? And then all of a sudden the chef's like, I'm here to cook breakfast.
Someone on our YouTube page said that that's common. That is very common in the South, that you have a pool house and the chefs cook in the pool house, in that kitchen. That is a very common thing.
Okay, and I understand that, but then don't put guests in there with them. Don't make
Well-
somebody sleep in there.
Well,
That's like an invasion of privacy, though. You don't know these people.
I mean,
All
but
your stuff's
they would've-
there.
But you would have been, if you were in the main house, they would have been cooking in that kitchen too. Like, where do you put them?
Yeah, but this is like
there's many
close
kitchens.
quarters.
I don't think it was that close, to be honest with you. It was
It's a
hard for us
pool
to
house. How
tell.
big could it be?
It had 2 bedrooms. It had 2 bedrooms and a
But
bathroom.
I'm just saying, like, you're kind of, it's a much more intimate setting with people in the kitchen cooking than if you're in the main house and your bedrooms are upstairs, spread apart, 7 bedrooms, and they're downstairs in this big old kitchen. I don't know. To me, it does seem a little bit like an invasion of privacy to have people cooking in there. But whatever, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to complain if somebody wants to send me to somebody's pool house in Dallas. I'll take it. So Kelli says when you're traveling, you want something you're used to.
Oh, yes. Something comparable to what you're used to.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And Drew starts like making faces and Kelli asks, what's wrong with your neck? So Drew says, you look beautiful and you got a good night's sleep. And Kelli says, well, you look like the alien in your movie. So now they start fighting. I'm like, this is why I stopped watching Atlanta a few years back. It's like, for real. I can't take all the fighting.
I know, because then Drew said, you look like misproportioned. I was like, oh, no.
God. And then Cynthia's like, are you trying to sabotage my trip? Like, she basically tells them, like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. And they stop. Then we see the other truck, and they're, like, dancing and singing and, having a great old time. So the truck that Drew was in, they must have brought up Black, and she said, I love Black. But don't you think it was kind of like, oh, I love him? Like,
I do. I
don't think she was like, I love Black.
Not like I'm in love with Black. Like, I love him.
Exactly.
He's my friend. Right.
Yeah, I think
That's
they
how
were
I
making
took it.
too big of a deal out of it. And Andy even asked Kelli on Watch What Happens Live, like, what'd you think about that? And she was like, I was shocked. But I just took it as like a, we're cool like that. I love him.
That's how I took it too.
This is what I didn't like. Now we're in the other truck, and Kay says she doesn't know Black. And then she says, Drew is implying that I'm doing something and I'm a married woman. That's a big stretch. I don't think Drew was implying that you slept with Black or you were flirting with Black or anything to do with Black. She did not even say any of that at all. She said, you know him or whatever, right?
No, what the implication was, I don't know what the implication was, to be honest with you, because if you think about it, like K. Michelle just got married just before they started filming, right?
Right before they started filming, yeah.
Right before they started filming. And from what I've seen, it had to do with she was on that show. What was it called?
King something, King's Court?
Something like that, yeah, right? And
she was on 2. She was on 2 shows, right. I think.
So she was about to get engaged to somebody from there. And then her husband now said, oh no, I'm not having this. And, went and got married. So I don't know if that's what she was, because it's a brand new marriage. Like because then they start showing the timeline of the DMs, because I wrote them down. I kept pausing it to write them down just because I'm trying to figure this out. Like, what is the deal? So the first DM came in August of 2024. So they're filming this in 2025. And he replied to her story, said, keep singing, baby, with a heart. And then February 16th, he replied to another story. You did amazing. It was great seeing you. Forever proud. Another heart. K. Michelle responded back to that. Thank you, handsome. I saw you out there. So he must have seen her live someplace.
Okay.
Right? And then he responded back, you're welcome, baby. I loved every minute of watching you shine too. More hearts, and then lock me in. Okay.
So who's making it like you were doing something? Drew didn't say anything. You're showing screenshots of messages between you and him. You're making it look like something happened.
Well, she's making it look like she's trying to let us think that he was coming for her. Well, he's the one who sent you a DM first. according to what you've shown us, right?
And then
We
you
don't
responded.
and then you responded, right. I don't know. Hey, Michelle is saying that, I think she wants to be associated with Black, that she knew him in the past for whatever reason. I don't know that Drew was implying that she
I don't think Drew was implying anything other than they knew each
I don't
other in the industry. Isn't he in the
right.
industry?
I don't know. I don't know what Black does. Do we know? I thought he was no, I
Find
don't
out.
know.
I thought he was in the music industry.
Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he is.
Because didn't he know? Because he knew Dennis.
Yes. Yes. He's in
Yeah.
the industry.
This is all messy.
It is messy. It is messy. It is.
I just didn't like that she was making it like Drew was implying that she and Black had some kind of relationship because I'm like but that's not what happened.
Think
Like,
sh
no.
I didn't think she was implying that. I did not think she was implying that.
So they get to the cattle herding and they're herding the cattle right in the middle of the street. And it's all of about 30 seconds.
Well, the cattle drive was starting at 11:30, and they didn't get there until 11:55, so they missed
Well,
it
there you go.
because
They
they
missed
were
it.
late.
But what was there, a horse in the back? And Drew and Pinky says, "Oh, look, there's Angela back there."
Yes, she did.
And Drew said, "Don't do that. That's my girl." So at least Drew stuck up for her there. And then we see the other girls at the stalls, the horse stalls. They meet Leo and the horse, and he's an attention hog. Did you see that horse buck? Like, that was very scary. I would have been like, I'm out of here.
You know what was weird? When that horse bucked, like, one of them fell. I'm convinced it was Phaedra, but they blurred it out. I rewound it like 3
Really?
times. Yeah, so Phaedra fell. Like, she went backwards. The only reason I'm convinced it was Phaedra because I was trying to match it up because it was blurred. She had on the brown hat and the cowboy. It was either Phaedra or Porsha, but then after I'm like, "Why did they blur it out?" Like, she definitely fell, and then when Phaedra got up, you could see she had dirt all over her butt. So she definitely
Maybe
fell.
she have like a short skirt on or something. Like maybe something
No, she
went
had
up.
jeans. No, she
Oh,
had jeans on. She had jeans on. Yeah, I thought, why did they blur that out? They definitely blurred it out on purpose, and I
yeah,
don't know
that's weird.
why. I
No,
thought
I
it was
don't know
weird.
either. So then the woman with the horse basically says what Phaedra was talking about earlier. And
Right,
so
the
it's definitely
dressage,
a real
yeah.
thing. So now we know from Bill
Yeah,
and the horse lady, it's a real thing.
yes.
And apparently they were supposed to ride the horses, but everyone came up with an excuse, including Phaedra, because her wig wasn't glued down. She could not
Right,
ride the horse.
right.
So then we see the other girls after the cattle herding, and there's a bull tied up, which I gotta be honest with you, I didn't love that at all.
I think that wasn't a bull, I think that was one of the cattles. That was one of the cows, those longhorn cows.
Okay. Well, I didn't love that they had this thing tied up in this poor animal tied up in the street, and they're getting on him and they're taking pictures, and you know, Pinky's like, "I'm
Well,
vegan.
Pinky
I'm not sitting on a
yeah,
bull."
yeah. And Portia's like, "I'm not dressed to ride a cow today."
Yeah, I just feel I don't know, that made me sad for the animal. They go to lunch and Pinky's looking for something to eat and she has to settle on french fries, and Cynthia says Pinky should have known there was gonna be a lot of meat in Texas. I mean,
Can you imagine they had a salad there. They had to have a salad. I've never been to a restaurant that doesn't have a salad.
it's a good point. It's a good
Have
point.
you?
No, not many restaurants I go to do not have salad, so no, you're right.
Especially if it's a
Yeah.
steakhouse.
Right, right. And listen, you're no stranger to carbs if you're a vegan, you know?
Mhm.
Drew says her blood type is O, and Shamia says hers too.
Oh my gosh, that
So
was funny.
Drew says if Shamia ever had to give me blood, she'd throw a blood donation parade. And Shamia said she would need one thing. She would need Drew to accept her apology before she gave her blood. And that's when Drew said something about Shamia's mom interjecting when they
Yep.
when they were trying to have that conversation. And they both get a little heated there. They stand up and then Cynthia's like, "All right, everybody sit down. Everybody relax." And then we go to the other girls in the horse stall and they have to have a wine tasting in a stable
That's
with horse shit.
disgusting.
So
Literally.
disgusting. I would never sit there and do that. I would be like, and I'm not this person, but I would be like, absolutely not. Please put the table outside of the stable. Come on.
Not to mention that, not even just the horse. Do you know how many flies are in those stables?
Exactly.
The horse shit, the
Ew.
smell of the horses, the fly. Ew.
There's
No.
nothing desirable about that situation at all.
I don't know who thought this up. I really don't.
No clue. Horrible. The sommelier asks if they like Italian wine, and Phaedra says that she likes Italian men.
Mm-hmm.
And she says she's in her dating era. Chi-Chi is fun, and she sees him when she wants. So she's, she's open to dating, especially an Italian man.
Which is good. Good
Um,
for her.
yeah, of course. He tells him to smell the wine, and Angela says she's smelling something else. Kay's like, it's like having dinner in a bathroom. Did they
It's so
eat?
true, though. I think they were supposed to because, listen, I don't think they did. I don't think they did because I
That
wouldn't
was,
either.
if you're going to come for Cynthia for anything on that trip, that's the thing to come to her for. I don't know. Kay says she's enjoying Porsha and Phaedra and thinks maybe they can build a friendship. And then we're back to the other girls, and Cynthia brings up Angela and Pinky last night. And Pinky says that, what did you think about this? Pinky says Angela is beneath her tax bracket. Do you know who Charles Oakley is? Do you know that he is an NBA player? He played for the New York Knicks. Like, what are you I don't care how many rib houses your husband has or cheesesteak places. It's fucking Charles Oakley below your tax bracket. But because she had a couple of foreclosures on a hobby of hers? Come on, Pinky. That was wild. Meanwhile, Pinky's in no tax bracket because she's broke at this point in her life.
I mean, yeah.
I could not believe she said that. And I hope somebody goes back and tells Angela.
Well, they are.
They have to.
Yes.
And then Pinky tells Kelli that Angela was talking shit on her and tells her about the frickin' frack comment.
Frickin' frack is whack. I mean, that's not horrible.
No, and Kelli said, I said it and I'll say it again. And
Yeah.
and Kelli starts talking about Porsha. She says, hurt people try to hurt people. And we say that all the time.
We
And
sure
then
do.
in her confessional, she said, I'm tired of talking about Porsha.
She's got to stop that. She really does.
She's got to stop that. I really don't like that.
I don't either.
Because listen, what are you implying? Like, you're a single woman. Like, would you want somebody saying that about you? Like, she's just living her life, Porsha, and she is single. She has every right to do that. So leave the whore and slut and all that stuff out of it. Cynthia tells Pinky that last night she said some uncomfortable things, and Pinky says she was just relaying the conversation she had with Shamia and Kelli, but she didn't know that Cynthia had already spoken to them. So apparently by the time Pinky brought that up at dinner, Cynthia had already had a conversation with Kelli and Shamia and was trying to rectify the situation.
Right.
But Cynthia said, well, you came in hot. I don't know. Do you think Pinky I don't think she came in hot with that message.
I do. I actually
do
think I agree. I do agree with Cynthia on that because Cynthia does say, you know what, there's intention and then there's delivery. I do think she came in hot. I do. I don't think that, she put it out there like at the table when everybody was there. Like if the intention was to let Cynthia know what was happening, it would have been a pull you aside moment.
Yeah.
Not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you are new to this group. You got to come in at the table of the first dinner on the trip. I mean,
well, that was the thing. Like them not going to dinner made it a bigger issue. So somebody on social media said, I think Shamia is so hurt that, not hurt, but Shamia feels a certain way about the fact that she and Porsha are not in a good place and probably felt like she was an outcast being put in the pool house. Like her, Kelli, and Pinky were like pushed to the side. Shamia, and having been friends with Porsha and Candy for so long and being around these women for so long, she knows Cynthia. Cynthia knows Shamia. So I think when I heard that, I'm like, that sounds more right than the toilet was dirty. You're putting me in the pool house. That made more sense to me. So Cynthia says Pinky starts the conversation and then runs the conversation. And Drew's agreeing. And Pinky says, nobody asked you, Sally Mae. And then Drew called her aggressive. And in Pinky's confessional, she says, "You will not disrespect me. If you feel my aggressiveness is taking up too much space in your world, I will be aggressive, but you will not disrespect me because I'm strong and I'm powerful and I stand in my truth." So you just admit that you were being aggressive, but you don't want Drew saying it. She said,
Yeah.
"I will be aggressive."
Yep, she did. Yep. And she also said it's very disrespectful to call somebody aggressive, especially with all black women have to go through. And I'm like,
but you just said you
then
were
said
aggressive.
right. And listen, I like that K. Michelle was saying that she was passionate. I'll take the passionate.
Yeah, no,
You know what I'm
sounds
saying?
more. I mean, honestly, like I know I bring it up all the time, but aggressive to me is flipping a table.
I
Nobody was
mean,
doing that. I guess, yeah, I guess there's different levels to it.
there's definitely different levels to it. You can definitely be aggressive with your words and your volume and your tone and your
Yeah.
demeanor.
Yeah.
And like she said in her confessional, that's a stigma with black women. Anytime they disagree, people call them aggressive. And that's not right either.
No.
Actually, I think it happens with a lot of women in general too. Like if we disagree or we get called a bitch or we get, you know what I mean? Like if we
Yeah. We're
yeah,
supposed to just
right.
be agreeable, and
Right. Right.
Pinky just wants to move on from last night. And it doesn't sound like anybody else does. Like Pinky really
No.
just wants to move past it.
Yeah.
So that set of women go back to the house. Cynthia was laying down trying to take a nap and Drew comes to her room. Cynthia has another nip slip, and then we roll tape on all of Cynthia's nip slips.
Oh my
And there
gosh.
were
I
quite a
didn't
few.
realize. I didn't realize how many she had had.
Me neither. So it was Cynthia that said this. Oh, I really thought I saw it on social media. Cynthia thinks the room issue is bigger than the room. She thinks Shami is feeling some sort of way about not being in the big house. So maybe she's the one that went into detail on that about her relationship with Porsha. I really thought I saw it on social media, but
I mean, it does make sense. It does
it
make
makes
sense.
total sense. It definitely makes sense. Drew starts imitating Shamia and all her twerking, and she does a pretty good job.
Was it Drew that was making fun of Shamia's wig? Yeah, I think it was Drew.
I think
That she Yeah. Yeah. What about K. Michelle saying that she's good with Shamia, she's a chocolate woman and she's good with chocolate women. She likes to sleep with them, and then she says she's gay on holidays. What? What was that all
Yeah,
about?
I have no idea. I don't know. But I'd like to, be around her on Christmas and just see what happens.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. The girls in the car are talking about Shamia. Yeah. So that they say, like, Kelli and Shamia know Cynthia. So it wasn't just anybody who planned the trip. It was Cynthia, and they both know her, and they felt a certain way about being put in the pool house.
Yeah.
And yeah, then Kay says, she only gets a good person from Shamia. And she likes sleeping with chocolate women, and she's gay on holidays. So at this point, I'm in my living room, I'm taking my notes, and I have to tell you, I could not pay my husband to watch 2 seconds of a Housewives show. And he's walking in and out, and he's looking at the group in the car, Kay, Porsha, Phaedra, and Angela. And he was like, "Who are they?" Like, he just thought that they were all so good looking, so pretty, which is, I mean, they are, obviously. But normally when Eric walks by a Housewives show, probably like OC or Beverly Hills, he's like, "Oh my God, what did they
Well,
do to
because
their
they're so plastic.
faces?
They're so
They're
fake
so
looking.
plastic."
Yeah.
He's like, "They look horrible." But yeah, he was very enamored with this group in this car. Cynthia and Drew were talking about Pinky, and Drew says her energy is draining. And then we see Pinky. So now they're back. Pinky is talking to Kelli about energy, and Pinky says she's not used to being around all these women. She's used to being around her husband. So they're going back and forth. Cynthia tells Drew that Pinky inserts herself into every situation. Kelli says to Pinky that when you have women who don't have a lot going on, the energy becomes different, and they connect so well because they have a lot going on. And then Pinky says, I built my business on my back, and Angela built hers by laying on her back. Now, I don't like that at all.
No, that was not
First of
cool at
all,
all.
she's a married woman. She's a mother. That was below the belt, I thought.
100%. I totally agree. I totally agree.
And not accurate. Like, she's married. She's a married woman. We don't hear about her sleeping around. There's no rumors like that. There's nothing. And who cares what she did before she met Charles Oakley? But she's married to Charles Oakley now. So don't take that away from her. And she is not below your tax bracket. There's no one who could convince me otherwise. All the ladies arrive back at the main house and they're going to have a nice dinner. And Cynthia says it's time for a reset and a reboot. And Shamia says she has a PSA and their place is bomb and they laid in their beds. Now, personally, I think whether it was bomb or not, Shamia was going to say that because she saw how Cynthia reacted.
Yeah,
Don't
she
you?
got the memo.
She got the memo. She understood
I
the
put down-
assignment.
I don't know what was funnier, watching these ladies get in the bus or watching them get out of the bus. Like, did you watch
Watching
that?
them get in the bus. Yes. They all had to push their asses up. There had to be. Who pushed the last ass up into the bus? Who was the last person? Somebody had to get a producer involved because it was like last man standing.
I was like, oh my God, these women are so funny getting in the bus.
They needed a lift on that thing, though. That was high.
I know.
So Cynthia asks each girl to say something they learned about someone else on the trip. Now, historically, this has not gone well, things like this.
This was a bad question, though, because she didn't say, normally it's like they ask you something shady. You can learn something.
Yes.
I thought actually it wasn't a bad prompt, to be honest with you, compared to some other ones.
It wasn't. And thankfully, well, no, it does kind of turn left.
Well, it always does.
Yeah. Kay says she didn't know that Phaedra was actually nice. And in her confessional, this was the best. She says that at the airport, white women were fawning all over Phaedra, and she learned that Phaedra Parks is a white lady household name. And Kelli co-signed that on Watch What Happens Live, and she said especially women from the South. Angela said Porsha is a time and a half. I don't know about this alliance with Angela and Porsha and Phaedra. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So Shamia says that she didn't know how much K. Michelle had been through, but and then K. Michelle talks about how some girls made her feel in Atlanta. But I remember, I think it was the first episode, when she and Porsha were sitting on that couch when we first meet K. Michelle, she references that. So I'd like to learn a little bit more about that, and I hope we do at the reunion.
Well, wasn't she on Love and Hip Hop before
she was on some? So she was on that King's Court, and she was on something else. So maybe you're right. Maybe that's what
I think. I think it was when she was on Love and Hip Hop. I think that it wasn't a good scene for her. I don't know because I never watched it, but that's what
I'm going to look
into
that. I'm sure that would come up at the reunion, though. It's something. It seems like something Andy would ask in her package. Now that we know what that term. So this is where we go left. Kelli says she appreciates the ladies coming and supporting her grand opening, and Angela says who was all there, and Kelli says you know who was there.
I know that was Yeah,
and Porsha asks Angela, "Did you have a good time?" And Angela said, "I did have a good time." This was a little confusing to me. Porsha says to Kelli should have told her she didn't appreciate what she said prior to doing an interview. So what I'm assuming is that when they left the tea, when Porsha, I almost called her Marsha, when Porsha said to Kelli something about sleeping with a married man, Kelli said and admitted to it, I just left everything was okay because I didn't want to basically poke the bear in a tea house. But she must have done an interview after that and said something about Porsha. And then Kelli starts getting louder saying, have you not said you wanted to sleep with someone's husband? And did you not sleep with a married man? And Porsha says, "No, bitch." And then she yells out, "Did you not sleep with R. Kelly?" Pinky's like, "Wait a minute, what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, like, wait a minute, what?" Now, I didn't read Porsha's book, and I never would.
No,
Um,
me neither.
I'm not interested. But she must have said in her book that she had slept with R. Kelly. I never heard that before. I feel like that's something we should have heard.
Well, not unless we read her book.
I guess not. And then Porsha brings up her book and that maybe Kelly read it, which Kelly denies on Watch What Happens Live. She says she did not read it. Portia's saying that the married man that Kelly allegedly slept with texted her friend right after and said, "I just got done effing Kelly." Now, that sounds a little
Porsha said on like a live or something, I believe was with Phaedra. She said the friend was Dennis and she was standing next to him.
I
And
have to be
Phaedra
honest
was
with you.
co-signing it. Phaedra
I know.
and Porsha, they were both co-signing it, and they both will not reveal the name because they don't want the wife to be hurt.
This is what Porsha and Phaedra do, though. They
Yeah.
say these things and then they have no receipts. They can't provide them for whatever reason.
So true.
This is what
It is
they
so
do.
true. It is so true. That's what they do. It's what got them in trouble before. It's what got Phaedra in trouble before.
That's right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And just like you said, Phaedra says she knows the family and doesn't want the wife to get hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a hard time believing it. I mean, listen, I personally don't care if Kelly slept with a married man, but
I don't either.
isn't it coincidental that Kelly said this about Porsha last season and now she's saying it about Kelly? And Andy asked Kelly on Watch What Happens Live
Right.
about that comment. And she's like, she was sleeping with Simon and he was legally married. She was sleeping with a married man. Okay, he was separated. But if he's legally married, he's legally married and she was sleeping with him. Listen, it's no big thing.
And that's what she was referring to. That's what she was referring to. Like, we knew that's who she was referring to when she made the comment. We all knew that. Like, it's not like it was a secret. We knew that's who it was.
And now Porsha has some cockamamie story about Kelly doing it. It's like no receipts. And of course, Phaedra's going to co-sign it because they're frickin' frack.
They are frickin' frack. And they are whack.
Yeah. And then Kelly says something about not wanting to scissor Porsha. And I don't, the scissoring thing got all, I
was confused with that too. Because they go too fast. That's the problem. They go too fast. They talk over each other. And then who said the MF hot girl, that hot chili cheese Frito pussy? Who said that?
Kelly said that about Porsha.
I was like, wait, whoa.
And then she said on Watch What Happens Live that her vagina is on fire. That's why she said it. Because Andy's like, can you explain this? She's like, it's hot. It's hot. It's on fire. I don't know what that means. I really don't want to know what it means.
I don't know. I do love Atlanta, but honestly, I feel like I may be too old for it. Like, they just go too fast for me, and I don't know what they're talking about half the time.
It's too much to keep the amount of beefs. It's too much to keep up with, and they do talk so fast, and they're so good with their shade. You're like, wait, what? Like, it does take a while. When you're taking notes, it takes a while to watch this because you do have to rewind it. You do have to pause. And then you got to look up some words and some phrases to see what it means.
Exactly. Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a lot of work what we're doing, people. This is a lot of work, but so fun nonetheless.
Kelly was on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy introduced her for the first time as Kelly Potter. Because that's, I guess, her maiden name. I don't even remember what her name was before. Do you?
Farrell.
Oh, that's right.
And I only know that because of doing the clips. When I have to tag
Farrell.
them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And Andy also, you saw this, asked her if she would like to apologize to Cynthia in this public forum for dragging her for so long about the accommodations.
Yeah.
And she did. She did.
I mean, it was a night and a morning. Like this, hopefully we never hear about it again. It's not like Salt Lake City where, Potomac, but the Colorado house. My God.
Oh my gosh, the stupid
It wasn't
Colorado
that bad.
house. No.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Kelly, it was interesting because I'm watching Watch What Happens Live with Kelly and Joellen, and some like some guests on Watch What Happens Live, some like vibe so well, like they're laughing. And typically it's because they know each other from something else. I thought that Kelli and Joellen got along just fine, but there wasn't like a real vibe there. And I don't think
No.
either one of them were really vibing with Andy either. Honestly, I don't think Andy likes Joellen very much. I kind of got that
You
feeling
did?
from him. Yeah, just like with some of her answers. Like she would say it, she would laugh, and he was like, "Okay," and would like flip another card.
I didn't
I
get
don't
that.
know.
I
I'm
didn't get that.
probably wrong, but it
I
was
didn't get that.
like, "Oh, I don't think he's a big fan of hers."
He did ask Kelli if she could elaborate on Porsha's claim that you tried to scissor her, and Kelli just said delusional.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I do like Atlanta, but sometimes I feel like it may not be the show for me.
There's so many beefs. There's so many like there's beef within the beef. Like I can't keep up. Just somebody be friends with someone. Go have
Yeah,
fun. Go do something fun. I mean, we have Cynthia's gala to look forward to, so hopefully
I'm
that'll
looking
be
forward
fun.
to that. I'm looking forward to that. I wonder if we will see Adrian there. Do you think Adrian will be
I
there?
think so. I would hope so, right?
I don't know. I hope so too. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Yep. I'm
All
into it.
right. I don't have anything else, do you?
Nope. Nope. That's it. But thank you so much for watching and listening. Please give us 5-star reviews, share, and subscribe and follow. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.